Asian American discrimination, exploring the unfair college admissions process. Unfortunately, resume builders are not the only factors universities use to judge applicants. Many factor in race. In particular, a great number of universities, including the most prestigious Ivy League schools, have discriminated against Asian Americans in the college admissions process because they preferentially admit other races. According to the statistics of the Students for Fair Admissions, an Asian American applicant with 25% chance of admission, for example, would have a 35% chance if you were white, 75% chance if you were Hispanic, and a 95% chance if you were African American. Therefore, applications from Asian American students are diminished just because of his or her race. The problem is, many private, old world universities such as Harvard and Yale consistently discriminate against Asian Americans in the college admissions process. The Harvard Crimson, Harvard school newspaper, shared this table which graphically portrays Harvard's average acceptance rate from 1995 to 2013. It is separated into 4 columns by race. Over almost a 20-year period, the reader can easily see that Asian Americans have a significantly lower acceptance rate than any other race. Harvard has a remarkably consistent proportion of Asian Americans in each of their annual classes, approximately 25% each year. The group Students for Fair Admissions believes that Harvard has placed a cap or quota on the number of Asian Americans admitted into every class. Andrew Belasco, a college researcher, analyzes the difference between race-blind schools and elite private schools. As a comparison, public schools such as UC Berkeley and UCLA admit approximately 40% Asian American students. Looking at the 25% from schools like Harvard and Yale, it is easy to tell that this difference demonstrates how far off the discriminatory private schools are from what would be a fair and non-prejudiced admissions process. This is a study conducted by the Pew Research Center asking Americans if certain variables should be a factor in the college admissions process. As one can see from the graph, race or ethnicity is very low, and Americans agree that it should be not a factor in the college admissions process. The solution to the racial discrimination of Asian Americans in the college admissions process is to take away the variable of race. Most colleges describe their admissions policy as blind to most personal variables. In this context, blind means that the sensitive information cannot contribute to the admissions decision. Most colleges are blind for need or financial issues, but race could be used in a similar manner. This solution is the most viable because without race being a question or category on the list, colleges will be left to pick the student based on their measurables, recommendations, and essays, all of which are items that can differentiate applicants. It is important to solve this problem because every year, thousands of Asian Americans get unfairly discriminated against in the college admissions process. Students spend countless hours working towards the goal of college. To put statistics into perspective, if Asian American applicants were accepted at the average rate at Harvard, there would be roughly 250 more Asian students in the class, which is a relatively significant number in a university with a relatively small undergraduate student body. Asian Americans should not get their dreams crushed because of their race, a variable that they cannot control. One should take action against college admissions discrimination to help make the college opportunity equal to those of different races. Every single year, students are declined solely because of their race. People's dreams are crushed due to something they can't even control. If you agree that discrimination is taking place in the college admissions process, then I ask you to sign the petition in the description of the video. I'm not asking you to fly to Washington and sit at the doorsteps of Congress. This petition is something that you can do right now. It will only take 5 minutes of your time, and it can make a drastic difference to the discrimination Asian Americans are facing.